This moment is a turning point, not just another second on the clock, not just another ordinary event in your day. It's the invisible line between who you've been and who you're about to become. Most people don't recognize the moments that shape them until long after they've passed. But sometimes, just sometimes, life offers you the rare gift of awareness in the very moment that matters. And this, right now, is one of those moments. You're not here by coincidence. The words reaching your ears or your eyes are doing more than just filling time. They're calling out to the part of you that's tired of living below your potential. They're speaking directly to the part of you that has always known there's more to life than just going through the motions. Somewhere deep inside, you've felt it, that quiet discomfort when you're not being true to yourself, that ache of unfulfilled purpose, that voice whispering, you were meant for more. It hasn't been wrong. You were. The question is no longer if you have potential. The real question is, what are you going to do about it? Too many people live like they have forever. They put off their dreams for tomorrow, assuming it'll show up like clockwork. But the harsh truth is, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The time to wake up is not after your next failure, not after another New Year's resolution, and definitely not after watching your life pass you by. The time is now, because this moment is when change begins, not when things are perfect, but when you decide you've had enough of the same old story. Think about all the moments in your past where you could have made a different choice. Think of the chances you didn't take, the words you didn't speak, the moves you didn't make. Now ask yourself, how many more of those moments are you willing to let slip away? At what point do you say, no more? Because until that point comes, you will stay exactly where you are, stuck between desire and doubt, between dreaming and doing. This moment is powerful because it's not bound by what happened before it. Your failures, your mistakes, your losses, they don't get to define what you do next unless you let them. You can draw a line here now. You can say, that was the old me, today I begin again. And that doesn't require perfection. It requires courage, courage to take one step, even if it's small, courage to admit you've been playing it safe, courage to commit to change, even if the path ahead is unclear. Life won't hand you a neatly wrapped breakthrough. It will give you choices. This moment is one of them. A choice between staying in your comfort zone or stepping into the unknown, between fear and faith, between letting time control you or using time as your tool. This is your chance to reclaim your power, to write a new chapter, to shift direction with intention. You don't need a perfect plan or all the answers. You just need to start, because nothing great begins with certainty. It begins with a decision. And right now, you're at the edge of that decision. What you choose to do with this moment will echo into every part of your future. The life you want isn't waiting for someone more talented, more lucky, or more deserving. It's waiting for you, the version of you that finally says yes to growth, yes to action, and yes to purpose. So pause, breathe, take it in. This isn't just another moment. This is the moment, your turning point. Most people are waiting for the right time. They convince themselves that one day conditions will be perfect. The skies will clear, the doubts will disappear, the stars will align, and then, finally, they'll begin. They'll start the business, write the book, apologize to a loved one, chase the dream or take the risk. But the truth is that so-called right time rarely comes, and while they're waiting, life keeps moving forward. Days turn into months and months into years. Before they know it, they're looking back, wondering where all the time went and why nothing ever changed. This belief in the right time is comforting. It gives people permission to delay, to play it safe, to avoid discomfort. After all, if you're waiting for the perfect moment, you're not failing, you're just preparing. But preparation without action becomes procrastination. And procrastination slowly turns into regret. Because deep down, we all know there's no magical moment when everything will feel certain. Life doesn't hand out guarantees, and it rarely offers ideal conditions. There will always be fear, always be risk, always be reasons not to do it. That's just reality. People tell themselves they'll start once they have more money, more time, more experience. They think they need to be more confident, more skilled, more supported. But confidence doesn't come before action. It comes after it. You don't become ready and then start. You start, and through the process, you become ready. Growth is never found in waiting. It's found in doing, even when you're unsure. The idea of a perfect time is just another illusion we cling to when we're scared, and fear, if left unchecked, will wrap itself in logic. It'll sound reasonable. You'll hear your inner voice say, "It's not the right season," or "What if I fail?" or "Let me just get through this one thing first." It feels smart to wait. It feels mature, but often it's just fear dressed as caution. Look around at the most successful, fulfilled people. Very few of them started when they had everything figured out. They started when it felt messy, when they had doubts, when nothing was certain. They didn't wait for permission or perfect timing. They trusted that starting imperfectly was better than not starting at all. And they learned, adjusted, and evolved along the way. Time is not something you get back. You can make more money. You can rebuild your reputation. You can heal broken relationships. But time, once gone, is gone forever. Every moment spent waiting for the right time is a moment stolen from your future. It's a moment you could have used to move forward, to make progress, to take one more step toward your goals. There's no right time to begin. There's only now, and now is more powerful than you think. Now is when ideas turn into action. Now is when fear gets challenged. Now is when momentum is created. You don't need a new year, a new month, or a perfect plan. You just need a decision to stop waiting and start living. The people who change their lives are not the ones who had the most advantages. They're the ones who stopped waiting. They're the ones who said, "I'll do it afraid. I'll do it messy. I'll do it even if I don't know how." And because they acted, doors opened, lessons came, and their lives began to shift. So if you're waiting for the right time, hear this: the right time is now. Don't let another day slip by hoping for certainty. Take the first step. Trust the process. Show up for your future today before time decides for you. Fear and doubt are your biggest enemies, not your circumstances, not your lack of resources, not the opinions of others. These two forces are the silent killers of potential, the invisible walls that keep countless people trapped in lives far smaller than they were meant to live. Fear whispers, "What if you fail?" And doubt echoes, "What if you're not good enough?" And before you've even taken a single step, your dreams start to fade, not because they're impossible, but because you've believed the lie that you can't. Fear is a natural emotion. It's hardwired into our biology to protect us from danger. But in the modern world, it often shows up not when we're in real danger, but when we're on the edge of growth. It appears when we think about speaking up, trying something new, changing careers, starting over, or showing our true selves. Instead of protecting us, it holds us hostage, making us shrink, stay silent, and settle for less. Doubt feeds off fear. It creeps in when we compare ourselves to others, when we remember our past failures, when we focus more on our flaws than our strength. It convinces us that everyone else has something we don't, that confidence, that talent, that magic formula for success. It tells us that we're not ready, not smart enough, not strong enough, and worse, we start to believe it. But here's the truth: fear and doubt only have the power you give them. They cannot stop you unless you surrender to them. Yes, they will always be there, no matter how successful you become. The people you admire most still feel fear. They still battle self-doubt. The difference is they act anyway. They've learned that courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward in spite of it. You can't wait for fear to disappear before you take action. That day may never come. What you can do is learn to recognize it, name it, and face it. Fear thrives in the dark, in silence. But when you bring it into the light, when you speak it out loud, when you take even one small step forward, it begins to lose its grip. The same is true for doubt. Doubt hates action. It wants you to stay frozen, to question everything, but when you take action, even imperfect, messy, uncertain action, you start proving your doubt wrong. Every step forward builds evidence. Every effort you make is a quiet rebellion against the voice that says you can't. What would your life look like if fear and doubt weren't in control? If you didn't listen to the voice that tells you you're not ready? If you stopped overthinking, stopped second guessing, and just did the thing, your dreams, your goals, your purpose, they're waiting on the other side of fear. They're waiting for you to rise up and decide that your future matters more than your fear, that your vision is louder than your doubt, that your courage is stronger than your excuses. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to be willing to try, to fail, to learn, and to rise. Because when you finally stop letting fear and doubt drive your decisions, you'll start to discover who you really are. You'll see what you're truly capable of, and you'll realize that the life you've always wanted wasn't out of reach. It was just on the other side of a battle you were always strong enough to win. You are worthy and capable. These are not just motivational words. They are truths that often get buried beneath years of self-doubt, rejection, failure, and comparison. Somewhere along the way, you may have started to believe that your value depends on your achievements, your appearance, your background, or someone else's approval. But none of that defines your worth. Your existence alone is proof that you matter. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove it. You are already enough. So many people walk through life questioning themselves, constantly wondering if they measure up. They ask, am I smart enough, strong enough, talented enough? And while they're asking those questions, they're watching others succeed, take risks, and grow. People who aren't necessarily more talented, just more willing to believe in themselves. The real difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck isn't ability. It's belief. Your mind is powerful. If you tell yourself you're not capable, your brain will find reasons to make that belief true. But if you choose to believe that you are capable, even if you don't know all the answers yet, your actions will start to reflect that belief. You'll try, you'll learn, you'll grow. And with each step, you'll build real confidence. Not the fake kind that looks good on the outside, but the kind rooted in experience and self-respect. You are not your past mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not what others have labeled you. Maybe you've been told you're not good enough. Maybe life has knocked you down more times than you can count. But those experiences didn't take away your worth. They revealed your resilience. Every challenge you've faced has shaped you. Every hardship has taught you something, and you are still here. That alone proves your strength. The world needs what only you can offer, your voice, your perspective. Your gifts. You don't have to be like anyone else to make an impact. In fact, the more you embrace your uniqueness, the more powerful you become. You weren't born to blend in. You were born to stand out in your own way. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to believe in yourself. That moment is now. There's no test you have to pass, no milestone you have to reach. You don't need to become someone else to be worthy of love, success, or happiness. You already are, and once you start seeing yourself that way, everything begins to change. Your decisions become bolder, your goals become clearer, your relationships become more meaningful. Why? Because you're no longer operating from a place of fear. You're living from a place of self-worth. Being capable doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. It doesn't mean you won't feel uncertain. It means that even when things go wrong, you trust yourself to figure it out. It means you know that your failures don't define you. They refine you. You're allowed to stumble, you're allowed to struggle, but you are not allowed to give up on yourself. You are not broken. You don't need fixing. You need reminding of your power, your value, and your ability to create the life you want. Everything you need is already inside you. Courage, creativity, strength. It's all there, waiting for you to trust it, tap into it, and use it. So let today be the day you stop questioning your worth and start claiming it. Stand tall, speak with conviction, act with purpose, because you are worthy, you are capable, and the world is waiting for you to believe it. Only action brings change. You can dream all day, plan for weeks, talk about your goals with passion, and visualize the life you want. But without action, nothing changes. Wishing, hoping, and even believing are powerful, but they are not enough on their own. True transformation happens the moment you stop thinking about it and start doing something about it. So many people get stuck in the cycle of overthinking. They want everything to be perfect before they begin. They wait until they feel completely ready, until the fear is gone, or until someone else gives them permission. But life doesn't reward thoughts. It rewards effort, and the truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. Growth is uncomfortable. Taking the first step will always feel scary, but action, despite fear, despite uncertainty, is the key that unlocks progress. Change doesn't come from staying where it's safe. It comes from stepping into the unknown, from taking risks, and from doing the things that scare you just a little. It's not about making huge, dramatic moves all the time. Sometimes it's just about taking one small step in the right direction. One phone call, one honest conversation, one decision to try again. These little actions build momentum, and momentum creates change. You don't need to have the perfect plan to start. You just need to start. Because action teaches you what books and advice cannot. When you act, you learn, you get feedback, you grow, you begin to understand what works and what doesn't. You develop skills, you become braver. And suddenly, things that once felt impossible start to feel within reach. Not because the world changed, but because you did. It's easy to look at others who are successful and think they must have had something special, more resources, more support, more talent. But most of the time, the real difference is that they simply acted. They started before they were ready. They failed, got up, and tried again. They didn't wait for a sign. They became their own sign. And that same power is within you right now. Procrastination, perfectionism, fear of failure. These are all forms of resistance that try to keep you from moving forward. They feel real, but they're lies. Lies that try to convince you that doing nothing is safer than taking a chance. But in reality, doing nothing is the biggest risk of all. Because while you wait, opportunities pass by. While you wait, others take the leaps you were meant to take. While you wait, time keeps moving, and time is the one thing you can't get back. Every great achievement started with a single action. Every success story is built on a series of decisions to keep going, even when it was hard. So if you want to change your life, stop waiting for the perfect moment. Create it. If you want to become stronger, start showing up. If you want to reach your goals, start now, even if it's messy, even if you're unsure. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment. It requires courage, and most of all, it requires movement. So whatever it is you've been thinking about, starting that business, changing your habits, speaking your truth, stop thinking and start doing, because the life you want is not built in your mind. It's built by your hands, one step, one action, one brave moment at a time. Change is possible, but only if you move. Only action brings change. Time is one of the most valuable currencies we have, and it's slipping away with every passing second. Every tick of the clock is a moment lost forever, a moment that will never return no matter how desperately we may wish it back. We often promise ourselves that we'll do something meaningful tomorrow, or that we have all the time in the world to follow our dreams, mend relationships, or change our habits. But deep down we know that each day that goes by is a portion of our lives that we can never reclaim. Every minute spent on trivialities, every hour wasted worrying, Every day spent procrastinating chips away at the future we have yet to create. The fact is, time waits for no one, and once it's gone for good. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that you never truly lived, you just existed. That thought is not meant to scare you, but to remind you of the urgency of now. We are all given a fixed allotment of moments in our lives, and how we choose to spend them shapes our destiny. If we spend our days doubting our potential, fearing failure, or succumbing to endless distractions, then we build a life of regrets. Instead, when you realize that every second counts, you begin to appreciate each moment as an opportunity, a chance to learn, to grow, and to pursue what truly matters. The realization that time is fleeting can serve as a powerful catalyst for change. You might think there's always a tomorrow, a chance to right your wrongs, to follow up on those hidden ambitions, or to become a better version of yourself. But putting off your aspirations means living in a perpetual state of planning without execution. Every day is a blank page waiting to be filled with your story, and if you don't pick up the pen, the story remains unwritten. Don't allow another sunrise to pass by while you're caught in the web of excuses, distractions, and the comfort of routine. The reality is that every moment wasted is an opportunity missed, and those opportunities add up over time until one day you might ask yourself, where did all my time go? Life is unpredictably short, and while it's tempting to think we have plenty of days ahead, the truth is we never truly know how many. This uncertainty is not meant to paralyze you, but to encourage you to live fully and intentionally. Embrace the present with a sense of urgency and purpose. Use your time to invest in experiences that enrich your life, to forge relationships that uplift you, and to pursue passions that ignite your soul. Recognize that the time you spend on things that don't contribute to your well-being only diverts you from what you are capable of achieving. It's easy to surrender to the distractions of modern life, endless scrolling, passive entertainment, and the constant demands of a busy schedule. But when you look back, you'll find that the moments of genuine happiness, creativity, and fulfillment come not from what you consumed, but from what you actively created. Seize control of your time by setting clear priorities and making conscious decisions about how you spend it. Honor your commitments to yourself and be mindful that every small act of progress counts. Time is limited. Don't waste it chasing moments that don't matter. Instead, focus on the activities, relationships, and experiences that bring meaning and purpose to your life. Let the fleeting nature of time fuel your determination to live boldly, to embrace change, and to become the architect of your own destiny. Every second is a gift. Use it wisely, because in the end, the legacy of your life will be measured not in years, but in how deeply you lived every single moment.